How are you?
Good.
So a lot of us just left the Flash roundtables.
Oh, okay.
And they were talking about how Flashpoint is going to affect all of the Arrowverse shows. Mm-hmm. How is that true? How is
they have to tell me how Flashpoint will affect Legends, because I don't know.
So as far as you're concerned, it won't affect Legends.
Not in the near term. Because in the near term, we're already telling stories about our own characters changing time. So I don't know how to make Flashpoint and the time travel the Legends are doing work in the short term. In the longerish term, Flash will definitely have a big impact on Legends. So there'll be a storyline that will start to come into play that you'll see a point of connection, but not at the early going.
What's been the biggest element that you can talk about for the first 6 episodes? Like any big set pieces or anything that you're really proud of?
We haven't committed it to film yet, but the fight between the Justice Society and the Legends, I think, is going to be fairly epic.
So they're battling?
They're superheroes. They have to. I mean, come on, that's required. You got to do that. And we just did a sequence for the season premiere. You'll see a little bit of it, the sizzle reel that we're showing later today, that we did 105 camera setups, or 150 camera setups. Wow. Epic ambition, epic amount of material. The show's always trying to push the envelope, and I think, unlike the other 3 shows that are single lead shows, the nature of this show is always bigger, more bonkers, more crazy. You have the mix of all the different superpowers and costumes and everything. It just has a bigger feel to it by design.
Who's more skeptical, the Justice Society skeptical of the Legends team, or the Legends team skeptical of Justice Society?
Oh, Justice Society skeptical of the Legends team. Wouldn't you be? I mean, these screw-ups. I mean, yeah, they're like, the Justice Society is like, they got it going on. They're a well-oiled machine. They've got everything figured out. They look at the Legends and they're like, what a bunch of losers. And they're like, and they're traveling through time. They've got time travel. Like, oh my God, this is dangerous. And like one of them's a criminal, the other's an assassin. It's not a good situation that the Legends are walking into.
Was the idea to introduce the Justice Society, did that become sort of an organic idea that came out of the writers' room?
Actually, where it came out was, I'll tell you exactly the course of events. We, at the end of 116, we knew we wanted someone to crash land a Wave Rider, step out, be a superhero, tell the team don't travel through time anymore. That was the conceit of the cliffhanger. And I was on the phone with Jeff Johns talking about, okay, which character is it? And we were talking and going back and forth, and Jeff's like, what if it's Rex Tyler, our man, and he says, I'm a member of the Justice Society of America? And Greg and I talked about it, and we were like, if we do that, we've got to do the Justice Society in season 2. Like, Justice Society has to loom large in season 2. But that's how it all unfolded.
And if the Justice Society is from the past.
Yeah.
None of our Arrowverse characters have ever talked about. I mean,
that's correct.
Was it like Watchmen where they were underground? They were
underground. That's why they're called the Mystery Men. We're very cognizant of the fact that for all intents and purposes, as far as the public's aware, the Arrow or the Hood back from season 1 was the world's first superhero. So we are still very true to that, even though there is a JSA. But very much like in the comics, where the JSA sort of, by virtue of comic book circumstance, got lost to time, our characters have sort of faded away. And there's a mystery involving the JSA that we'll be getting into as we push on through the season. That again will explain a lot of this.
Were there any specific runs of Justice Society comics that really have influenced this next season?
Mine. No, I'm kidding. No, not really. Actually, the last days of the JSA, Roy Thomas. I think it was Roy Thomas. Last days of the JSA, big piece of it. Actually, a lot of the very early runs, like the first, the Per Degaton, Spirit Destiny, Adolf Hitler, that kind of, I forget the writers who were involved, but certainly Roy Thomas's last days of the JSA. got copies of that from DC to share with all the writers. That's kind of a big piece.
So, I'm sorry.
I was just going to go literally dozens of JSA characters.
Yes.
How did you sort of narrow down who we need, who will work best for the show?
Oh, great question. Phil Klemmer and I met with Dan Evans and Jeff Johns, and we had a list, a long list, and we talked a lot about a lot of different factors. It was like we wanted a good gender mix, a good powers mix, a good ethnicity mix. We wanted, it had to be like producible. There were a lot of different factors, and we just whittled it down to a roster that we'll announce at the panel. That I think is it gives you a feel of the JSA across all the different eras. One thing we didn't want to do was just like it's the 1940s JSA, even though our JSA on Legends is the 1940s. Like there's other cool characters that we want to bring in from other eras. But I think people will feel like the lineup is quintessentially JSA.
Are there any villains from the JSA?
We feel like we did per Degaton last year. I keep pitching out Dr. Chaos, who was a villain during my JSA run, in the writers' room. Like, oh, let's do Dr. Chaos this week. Let's do Dr. Chaos this week. Because I love Dr. Chaos. No one just yet. Apart from because again, once you've done per Degaton, it's kind of hard. And Vandal. We kind of did that a little bit last year, or a lot last year.
Will we see Connor Mock-Diggle again?
We love the actor. It is more than possible. We actually were in the writers' room the other day talking about a story set in Starseed 2047, like a year after episode 6 last year. And I'm really excited about it. The idea is awesome. Definitely something I want to do this year. As with all things on all the shows, we just need to find the right time, the right opportunity. But yeah, that's totally something we would love to do. I'd love to have that.
Is the Thanagarian threat still looming over our heroes, or not?
No, we've sort of put that a little bit on the back burner. In large part because we wanted to start fresh this season. We wanted to deal with the time travel element and not the external extraterrestrial element. But Thanagarians are still out there. We've certainly, I always describe it as it's a seed we've planted, and one of the nice things, we've been able to do on Arrow, which has gone 5 years, is one of our favorite things to do is plant a seed in season 2 with Hive and pay it off in season 4. I kind of put the Thanagarians in the same category. It'll be great to revisit them one day and get the Hawks back and everything, but at the right time.
Do you have a 5-year plan for this show as well, or is it really season by season?
I would say it's more season by season because it's always sort of been designed to be a little anthology-ish. So it doesn't lend itself to a 5-year plan. That said, there are things that we talk about where we're like, that's not a season 2 thing, that's a season 5 thing. So we have little benchmarks and places that we know we'd like to get to, but it doesn't lend itself to a 5-year plan the way Arrow has.
When you decided to bring in Vixen, but found out that the actress was not available.
Yes.
Was that a disappointment, or did it sort of lead to being able to do something creatively different with the character?
I'll be honest. It was a disappointment, mainly because we love Megalyn and we love her. Her depiction of Vixen was kind of short-lived in the live-action sense. At the same time, as with all things, you take lemons and you make lemonade, and I'm thrilled that we cast Maisie. I think she's absolutely terrific. She's got such a great. Her performance is so evocative of Megalyn's without being derivative of it. And the fact that she's a member of the JSA allows us to give her a different perspective that Megalyn's character from 2016 wouldn't be able to have. So we just we ran with it, and look, my sincerest hope is that we do an episode where Megalyn meets her great grandmother. That would be awesome, and we can do that because it's a time travel show. So that's the hope.
Steal him.
All right.
All right.
Very good.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.